Welcome to 10 at 10. Today we're going to look in Joshua chapter 1, verse 6 through 9. And this is, at the time of this filming, we're at the middle of 2021. And sometimes I like to do a personal mid-year review and look at things that God was speaking 6 months ago at the beginning of the year. And then also sometimes go all clear back 1 year. So this would be the middle of 2020. We know that the middle of 2020 was kind of a contentious time, but God was also speaking during that time. One of the things that God was speaking to us as a congregation, to us as the younger family, Pastor Peggy and myself, also applies to the kids, but they're also adults, so they have some of their own themes of life. But one of the things that God was speaking to us is dream big and make a difference. And that has become one of the themes of Light the Bay Church. Hashtag dream big. Hashtag make a difference. The reason why God put that on our hearts in the middle of 2020, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of pandemic, all of the things that 2020 could be called, was because when we get our eyes on the problems, when we get our eyes on all of the stuff that's going on around us, sometimes we fail to understand and remember who God is and how big He is and how big He can be in our lives. So, bringing us back to Joshua chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "Be strong and courageous." By the way, I'm reading out the NIV today. It says, "Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them." Now, this is not the first time that Joshua would have heard something along the lines of be strong and courageous. Joshua was not a new leader. Joshua was not new to the inner circle of what God was wanting to do with the children of Israel. If you remember back, Joshua and Caleb were the two spies out of the 12 that came back with a good report and came back with a report of let's take the land. Even though there are giants in the land, God is with us. We can do that. So we're introduced to Joshua 40 plus years ago before we get to this verse. So Joshua has been on the inner circles. Joshua has been around Moses. Joshua is being groomed to be a leader. And in this verse, or in this passage of Joshua chapter 1, many times God says, be strong and courageous. Even the people that Joshua are now going to lead, they say, be strong and courageous. So there's a theme that God is trying to get across to Joshua. And I believe that's really a theme that God is trying to get across to us in these days. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land that I swore to my forefathers to give them. To the land that God has promised you. Be strong and courageous. When you just see giants in your land, when you see walled cities in your land, be strong and courageous. In other words, when you see obstacles, when you see things that are bigger than your natural ability to take down, to overcome. Remember, be strong and courageous. Verse 7 is a very popular scripture. I'm going to go ahead and read it so we don't miss anything. It says, "Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go." Man, I've been really talking about that the last 3 months in 2020 or 2021. He even talked about it a lot in 2020. All of the stuff that went on with the elections and all of those things. Man, if you turned into the media, if you turned into social media, if you turned into anything, there were all kinds of opinions. There were all kinds of prophecies. There were all kinds of stuff going on saying different things. But one of the things that God kept bringing us back to is stay the course. Stay the course. One of the Wednesday nights ago, we talked about who cut in on you. You were running a good race. Who cut in on you? So I'm asking you at the middle of the year, the middle of 2021, are you still running the race that you're supposed to be running? Did you start 2021 strong, but now have waned towards the middle? I want to encourage you. Be strong and courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Listen, when God gives you a word, don't turn from it. When God gives you a word, hold on to it. When God gives you a word, run with it. Sometimes it will be counter to what society says you should do or how you should do something. But let's look at the logic of God. He told the Israelites, he told Joshua, you take all the Israelites that you're now going to be the leader of, and you walk around a city for 6 days. Then on the 7th day, walk around it 7 times. Don't say a word until I tell you to say a word. Now, in the natural standpoint, that would have been pure stupidity. I know in today's society, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whoever they are, all of the different major networks of news, they would have had all their commentators in. They would have analyzed it. They would have said Joshua was out in the desert for far too long. He's experiencing all kinds of dementia, heat stroke. He's grief-ridden because Moses, the leader, is gone. He's fear-ridden because the leader, Moses, is gone. This is a new obstacle. Obviously, he's not a military leader because a military leader would have done it a different way. All kinds of thought processes, but God knew the right way. And so I want to encourage you, don't deviate from what God is saying to you when it is easy or when it is hard, because God's faithfulness will always come through. Payday may not happen this Friday, but payday's coming. And when God pays, you'll know you've been paid. Till next time, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next 10 at 10.